We've learned a bit about the stakes involved in our financial decision-making. Now let's look into where these spending, savings, buying decisions are made. The brain.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our blind tasting for today. We have 3 different wines for you to try.
Okay, what's this got to do with learning about the brain? There's actually a method to my madness.
The 3 different wines are $15, $35, and $90, so we'll start with the first one, okay? And then
I'm here to learn how our brains want us to be happy and how they can influence the decisions that we make around our spending. Wow, this Cabernet is incredible. No wonder it's pricey. I can really taste the oak. And speaking of wine, meet Dr. Baba Shiv from Stanford University. He's traveling to Caltech in Pasadena to demonstrate an unusual experiment that shows the powerful influence the unconscious brain can have on our decision-making. He's meeting with fellow neuroeconomist Professor Hilke Plasman to analyze the biological response to the price of wine.
When people say that they enjoy a higher priced wine more so than a lower priced wine, is it that is something that is still just in their head? That is, they're just constructing this? Or is it the case that the brain area that codes for pleasure itself is more active when the brain thinks it is tasting a higher priced wine than a lower priced one?
In a fascinating study, Shiv, Plasman, and their colleagues held a horizontal wine tasting. Volunteers were served carefully measured quantities of wine through a tube while lying inside a functional magnetic resonance imaging machine, or fMRI. As they were served, they were told the price point of each wine, while the fMRI measured real-time changes to blood flow in their brains.
And the question, therefore, we are asking, will the area of the brain that we know codes for pleasure, the ventro-medial prefrontal cortex, right? The bottom, medium of the prefrontal cortex. Will that area of the brain show greater activity when the test subject thinks that he or she is tasting a high-priced wine than when he or she thinks that they're tasting a low-priced wine?
There is one important detail the volunteers don't know about this experiment. The $10 wine and the $90 wine are one and the same. They're both from the $10 bottle. The results are telling. The brain, it turns out, is happiest when it thinks it's experiencing the expensive stuff.
The areas of the brain that extract pleasure are more active when the test subjects think that they're tasting the higher-priced wine than when the test subjects think that they're tasting the low-priced wine. And that's what they're trying to do.
Because at the end of the day, what we show is that you pay more for the wine, and this makes you more happy, so you get what you pay for.
At least for the moment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, may not be for the long haul, but at least for the moment, it makes you happy.
So it's actually a good thing, right? So you pay more for it, and you're happier, and companies want loyal customers, they want happy customers.
The fMRI proves you don't just think the wine tastes better because of its high price. It does taste better. Forget your taste buds. It's your prefrontal cortex making that call.
So it turns out that my choice of wine is the most expensive. That comes in a box. But I'm still convinced there's a little bit of oak in there. Just a little bit. You can taste it, right? It's not just